Right, welcome. Today we're talking about the Expungement Clearinghouse and why you probably shouldn't send your expunged record to the Expungement Clearinghouse. Let me tell you why. Back in 2012, the Expungement Clearinghouse was created by a group of CRAs, also known as background screeners. This in and of itself creates a problem. When you look at their website, it says, don't be surprised if your expunged record showed up. We often reveal stale records that should have been deleted. But then they go on to ask you, please send in your expungement order so we can have a note of that and put it in our database. And I hope you see the problem with that. You're essentially just adding more data to their database that now, once you do that, cannot be refuted because there's a record of your record being being deleted. So there's no reason you have to do this at all. In fact, I suggest you don't. It's a very bad idea. Okay, so what do you do? Oh, and get this, they ask you to pay money to expedite the service. It's a racket, and it's a shame that there's not more people stopping this. So anyway, what do you do? Well, there's two approaches. Number one, if your expunged record shows up on a background check, you never send an expungement order into the background screener that found it. And here's why. The record no longer exists at its source. So when you send an expungement order, like I said just a second ago, you're essentially saying that that record did exist, and here's proof that the record did exist, and here's proof of the arrest. What you want to do is just simply write a dispute letter saying that record is inaccurate, please check at the source, you will find it does not exist. Bam, problem done. If you want to take a more proactive approach, what you want to do is send a full file disclosure to all relevant CRAs, whether in your state or the national CRAs, pretty much anyone you can or you have time for, and ask for a full file disclosure. And what this does is, it seems to me that 9 out of 10 times most CRAs have nothing, no evidence of any records on you or anything like that. But what happens is, in the future, first of all, keep all of this documentation, all your full file disclosures, scan them, put them in the cloud, whatever you want to do. And you do this because in the future, if a CRA, one of these same CRAs, runs a background check on you and they report an expunged record, you actually have documentation that in the past they didn't have this expunged record in their database, or so they say they didn't, which, what turns out from my findings is that they had it this whole time, they just never reported it to you, which is illegal and which you can file a lawsuit for. And it seems that I say the word lawsuit a lot, but you know what? That's our only defense right now against CRAs and their sloppy database practices. I mean, they're ruining lives, and it's the cost of them doing business, and they could care less. So yes, lawsuits, what you want is documentation. So if a CRA from whom you requested a full file disclosure reports an expunged record on you in the future, you can go back and say, well, at this point in time, you didn't have this expunged record or this arrest record that no longer exists. Where did it come from? And in court, it will be discovered that they had it the whole time. They did not report to you what they had, and you're, eligible for compensation. So anyway, I hope this helps. Write in if you have any questions. Thanks.